Yo, wow, we barely made it in time for this one, didn't we?
If you guys saw my post, Gremlins took over the channel, and yeah,
Damn green
real
things.
reason, Paul, is there's like a tornado going on outside my house, and my power went out. So
I was really nervous there.
we had
So
to turn
hopefully
it.
we don't lose
We had
it.
to go reboot the system like in Jurassic Park. We had to go across.
Hold
Yeah,
on to your butts.
pretty much. Hold on to your butts was right. But we're back. We have an awesome guest tonight.
Ooh, I'm so excited by this guy. It should
Yeah.
be a funny one, guys. I'm just telling you. A lot of personality here tonight. We just got a lot of it. But let's just, why don't we should we just go ahead and bring him in?
Let's. Who's in the chat right now? Let's see who's in here.
Oh, okay. I'm just getting a little too ahead of myself. Chef's backyard. What's up, man? Mr. Camera Junkie. We always appreciate
Mr.
seeing
Camera
you in
Junkie is
here.
becoming quite a regular at on Creator Camp.
Yeah, and he's got a good channel himself. He's got a lot of great live streams. I replayed his last one the other day. It's really good. We got Shell to Art. What's up, man? Shell to
Let's see if
Art.
Paul has a comeback this week. Paul, I don't think I don't know. I saw Bert's questions tonight, and I don't know. I don't like Bert jumped around a few different channels. I think so.
State Park. Yeah, that's the hard part about tonight. Is I'm sure he's going to try to. My memory's got to go back a while. A number of different channels: Kinotika, Dave Mays, Indy Mogul. I'm sure he's going to try to really pull me on that one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes tonight. But yes, welcome everyone, and I think we should just go ahead and bring in the man, the myth, and the legend, right?
Bring him on in, Paul.
All right.
Hey, what is going on, Indy Mogul? My name is Ted, and we are. Wait, did you?
No, I don't think so.
No. I have a meeting today. Hey, Matt, who is at the door?
I think some homeless guy. I don't know. He's not leaving.
Sir, I'm not asking to leave.
Dude, you just called me like 30 minutes ago. I'm so stoked to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Sorry, hey, turn the cameras off. Sorry, 1 second. Dude, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
I just drove up from the beach, bro. Orange County.
Sandy and stuff. I'm sorry, sir. You can't. This is an office during a pandemic.
Ted, it's Dave. Dave Mays.
What's up, Paul? What's cooking, Paul? What's cooking?
I'm really confused right now. The dad hat. Okay, so I can't check that one off. Did you get a new hairstyle there, Dave? It looks a little different.
It's doing some weird stuff here on camera.
So you're the real Dave Mays, then, right? I mean, gosh, I see the resemblance, but
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you didn't answer my question. What's cooking, Paul?
Chipotle? I don't know.
Did we ever find out what's cooking?
We never know what's cooking. I mean, that guy always just said that line. It came out of nowhere one day, and he just kind of stuck with it, I guess. But
oh my gosh. I love the hat. Oh my gosh, the real Dave Mays.
What hat?
Is it just Kyle? Oh, you had me there for a second, bud.
Wait a minute. You're a handsome looking fella there. I like those glasses, that shirt, the hat.
You see the YouTube face?
What's really great is the background there. I mean, vintage, right? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
the former.
you probably wish that you had this guy right here. It's nice little.
It's amazing. Yeah, that gold play button. I don't see
probably
the gold play button.
Probably the only time you'll see that in my background in my frame.
Probably, but
same here.
Hey, if you ever see that in your frame, I better be there with you.
Anyway. Now, Dave, I actually found the shirt that this is supposed to resemble, but it was from Hawaii and it was going to take like a week to get. So,
oh my goodness,
what are you going to do?
No, that's perfect. I love Hawaiian shirts. I wear them constantly. They are my favorite, especially when I used to live in California, and it made a little more sense. But
just do it in Nashville, anyways.
Where did you find that hat? That's like the same hat.
Is it? Oh yeah. What do you know?
He was going to.
Actually, I just asked Bert. Bert can outsource anything, man. That guy's like a genius detective.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Great job on that intro, by the way. I love the intro video. I've seen these. I saw Sydney's. I saw Donna. This is like such a great show. I love what you guys are doing here. So thank you so much for having me on. This is going to be
Yeah.
so much fun.
Well, it's glad to have you on. I know when you were watching Sydney's, we got like an immediate tweet from you that brought in a whole bunch of people. And then like I think we booked you like what, a minute or two after we were done with the show.
Well, well, it's my own fault. I mean, not fault, but like hopefully it wasn't too forward, but I was just like, I love this show. I want to be on it. So please,
Well,
can I
the funny
come
part
on?
was I was talking to Kyle about it. I'm like, we got to get Dave on here. I think he'd be a great guest. And then you pop into Sydney's channel that one day, and we're like, well, this is a great opportunity to get the guy on here, man. But,
Wow.
I'm a huge fan of the Golden Hour podcast. I mean,
Oh, thank
I
you.
watch every single one of those, and
Yeah,
I
thanks,
think you
Paul.
do a great
Paul-
job with that show. So
Paul's in the comments and on the chat of the Golden Hour every time, and I really greatly appreciate your support. And that's one of the few consistent things that I've been able to do for the last couple of years that hasn't been that I've gone and worked for someone else and then get hired for this other thing and this and that. It's always something, but the Golden Hour is like the consistent stream that I've been able to do over the last couple of years. So anyways,
very
thank you
thankful
guys.
to Polar Pro for that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
important. That's awesome. I'm glad they stuck with you. They got a great host.
Yeah.
for that.
Oh, well, thanks. Kyle, I
Um,
love the outfit, man. I'm going to have to ask you to send that over to me when we're done with the show, because that's
You just made
perfect.
your new hat, right?
And I need a new hat. As you can see, the hat that Kyle is wearing right now is what this hat used to look like. And then after going to the beach and running it through the wash, it's now become a kind of brownish off
2
gray
kids
color.
later. Yeah.
2 kids
I know how that
later,
goes.
exactly. Exactly.
I know all about
so-
that. Whew. 4-year-olds, they'll take you to town, man. Whew.
So it looks like you had a fun guest this you posted what today? Was it today
so
or
yeah.
last
jealous.
night? I think
Yeah,
I saw it
Peter-
last night, but I was up to like 2, so I don't know. It could have been today.
Yeah, I did post it last night, pretty late. I posted it around 10 p.m. It's an interview with Peter Lindgren, and my friend Tom Buck, who I had on the show as well. He actually introduced us and was very kind to introduce us, and Peter was great. I kind of posted it last night because I knew that his Swedish audience would be awake during that time. So,
Right.
and then also the timing was so perfect because just so happened that same day Peter McKinnon posted a video with Peter Lindgren. So I was like, oh, people are probably going to be interested in wondering who Peter Lindgren is. So
Yep.
sure enough, that was the case.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to get. The hard part is the timing, right? So doing
Yes.
this live, it's kind of hard to get him to do it from Sweden. So we're trying to work on a Saturday. I'm pretty close with Peter. I have his cell phone number, and he's been kind of encouraging me in my journey because when he first started his quit DHL,
Yeah.
I was like watching his channel before he, when he was like, under 1,000 subs, and
well, Paul, he's been subscribed to you since like you had,
oh, yeah,
like, 10
and he's been
subscribers,
subscribed
so-
to me for a while, and he'll comment randomly, and he's very nice. He critiques me. I get some positive feedback and some stuff I need to work on with him, and he'll tell me what I'm doing good, what I need to work on, and he's just been a real blessing. So I really love Peter. He's a good guy. So.
Yeah, he's so nice, so incredibly nice and supportive, and I enjoyed that interview a lot. So
But yeah, man. So you've been through it all. I feel like I know who you are because I've been watching between all the Polar Pros and your channel and Kinotika and all these different changes. I've gotten to know the real Dave Mays. But
absolutely, man. Same, yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time and in
Absolutely.
person, Paul. By the way, and
In person,
Kyle came out to Vegas, and we were just talking about this pre-show. Like, hopefully next year we can all meet up in person in Vegas again. But it was just so great meeting so many different creators at NAB, and just grateful for that time. So, and Kyle was there, and we got to have some burgers at In-N-Out. It was awesome. How are my levels, by the way? Does that sound good? Am I clipping? I just saw a
No,
red.
I think you're good. I turned you up a
Check.
tiny bit earlier, but
Check. 1,
sound great.
2. Okay, cool.
even that SMB,
Yeah, the old basic SM7B, but I got the old cloud lifter down here and all that stuff, you know.
See, I got two of them behind me, but I'm still using the one in front of me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Woo. Oh.
Some nice lighting there.
So,
Um,
how is the changes over there in Nashville? Tell us about what's life like now with the Dave Mays taking over the Kinotika channel. Are you kind of finding your way? I know that you kind of went back and forth. You wanted to do some comedy,
Yeah.
and then you didn't you kind of getting tired of the camera review life, and now I think you're just going to go back to merging them both together as one kind of a thing.
That's exactly it. Thank you, Paul. You must have listened to the show where I like pontificate all this with every guest. It's funny. Sometimes I feel bad for the listeners. I'm like, I'm really just taking advantage of all these great guests and getting their feedback on my ideas. So, but hey, you guys get to learn it together. Yeah, I'm honestly for the first time in the last 3 years. Like, I mean, well, okay, Indy Mogul was extremely exciting, and what a blessing that was. And I'd be happy to talk more about that, but in that experience. But personally, I've been struggling with, like, as a creative, if you will, or like a performer, the niche that I have built. I love cameras, and I could talk about cameras and gear and filmmaking forever. But I did get I felt like I was being put a little bit in a box by simply reviewing stuff, like, period. And I think it's just a maturity thing as a creator. Like, I just started reviewing stuff because that's what I saw, that's what I watched, and I did it in my own way, and I really enjoyed it. But from a storytelling perspective, after doing hundreds of them over and over and being involved in that space for a couple of years, I just simply got, as a creative, a little burnt out from it. And so I really never stopped doing it up until when I quit Indy Mogul last year. And so this whole year of 2021, the whole year of 2021, I didn't do really any YouTube except for the podcast. And it gave me a lot of time to really think and really kind of search myself creatively and try to figure out what is it I want to do. And I was going back and forth on different entertainment focused channels, like a gaming channel, and doing some like man on the street stuff with gaming in particular. And I still kind of have an idea with that I think would be really fun. And I that's not like going to go away. But what happened just a couple of months ago that really clicked for me was like, wait a minute, I can actually do I can do a little bit of both. Like, I can talk about camera gear and do kind of bigger storytelling and really focus on the comedy and the entertainment. And if I try to broaden my audience a little bit and kind of zoom out and not necessarily get into the weeds of the nerdy like specs that I am really passionate about, but like if I can strategically, on at least on this main channel, back up a bit, try to make it more of a general filmmaking kind of, and then maybe general gear, drone related stuff. Maybe that'd be the next step. And so, you know, we're speaking at an interesting time because I'm currently editing my first kind of video in this way with the DJI Mini 3 Pro versus Inspire 2. I have the Mini 3 down there if you want to see it, but I've had it for about a month.
Similar to like your Mini, what was it, Mini 2 versus Inspire video?
Exactly. I heard exactly. I heard a creator say once, it might have been Mr. Beast or some other like YouTube expert person. It was like, if you had a video that worked and there's a formula that has worked for you in the past, just recreate it. In fact, you know what? It might have just been my buddy Jevin, because I talk to him all the time. Jevin Dovey, great creator. If you're not familiar with him, check him out. Jevendovey, Jevin Dovey, awesome creator. But I think he said, yeah, take the videos that perform the best and just redo them in a new way. And so that's what I'm doing. So, but this one is a little bit more interesting. It's not interesting, but it's a little bit more funny and game showy. Basically, at the beginning of the video, I have the Mini 3 and the Inspire 2. I have Netflix certified pilots. They've shot for Stranger Things and Walking Dead. They helped film all the stuff. So they flew the drones. And I was like on the back of a truck with a big flag, like waving it and stuff. And so they got all these cool shots in Nashville. We went downtown as well. Then I take all the footage to a colorist, and I basically tell him to color grade the Inspire footage to make it look like the Mini 3 Pro, which is wrong. Like obviously you should make the Inspire look as good as possible.
Right.
But the game is like I'm gonna try to fool my friends in Vegas into thinking that the expensive $11,000 drone is actually the cheaper, budget-friendly, Mini 3 Pro. And so I'm trying to fit in like little things throughout that as well to like teach about the drone and interesting things about filmmaking. And then you cut to Vegas with Jevon Dovey and Armando Fiera. I have the footage side by side. They try to guess which one's which. The winner gets $1. They ended up tying the game. And I'm giving the whole thing away right now. What am I doing?
It's kind of similar to like when you did the Jenna and or Justine and Armando.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is because Armando was in that one too. So.
That was kind of a fun platform because it also keeps your watcher attention, like your viewership attention higher, or retention, I should say, not attention.
That's the idea.
It's just like you're like the third contestant in that video when you're watching it because you get to like see it as well. So,
and my goal right now is for the next, like, seriously 2 years. Like, I feel like this is a kind of, Gary Vee says, eat dirt. Like, I think this is the eating dirt segment. So I keep hearing, obviously, like, if you want to build a YouTube channel and make money, like, you need to be putting out consistently and talk about things that people are searching for to get discoverability. But then the flip side is I hear people like Ryan Trahan and Eric and Mr. Beast. They're all saying it's better to focus on one video that's a banger and make as many bangers as possible because over a period of time, if every video you post is a banger, even if the first couple don't take off, eventually people will catch on and they'll realize like, oh, every time this guy posts a video, it's great. Right. So I'm just going to watch it. Whereas I was getting kind of tired of just doing the simple, as much as that provided income for me and a career, like, okay, this is the new Sony, blah, blah, blah. It's got the new sensor in it. It's great. Like, I want to do something different, and I'm really excited and passionate about it. And I feel like these last 4 years have basically trained me up to know how to execute this now. And I've got, moving back home, I've got a lot of connections in the industry because I used to be a director and like, freelance filmmaker here in Nashville. So, and I did that for over a decade before I even started YouTube. So a lot of my friends are now in their like early to mid 30s and they're actually in the industry working, or they work for a production company, or they own a production company. They happen to own an Alexa or whatever. So coming home to Nashville has been helpful in that way because I've been able to just call my friends up, like, my friends who shot the drone stuff. I shot the guy's wedding, like 11 years ago. Nice. And now he happens to be a pilot that flies for Netflix, And then the colorist is a link that I had with my old roommate who now works at a production company, So it's just like little things like that I'm kind of feeling like as I've aged into this career and I've been doing it for so long, and then now I'm doing the YouTube stuff, like being able to pull into some of the story of my past. I'm older, so I have like some stories to tell about. This is a guy that I met, 10 years ago at this one thing, and now here we are doing this YouTube video. Like I think just adding some personality, adding some story. But then even the man on the street thing that I did at NAB was so much fun. I loved doing that.
I can't believe I missed that. Like I saw you wearing the shirt. I must have dipped out for lunch or something because I saw that video. I was like, when the hell did he even have time to do this? That was
that was the day we did the In and Out.
NAB this year. You were either at the Condor Blue booth or at the Aperture booth.
And way to go, Kyle!
You were just walking around. You weren't even like stationed anywhere. So
I loved your edit, your NAB video. I loved it. You did a great job. I really liked that.
His edits are very clever. Every time he shows up, I'm like,
well, so like when you see any Vegas movie, what's the first the generic steps of Vegas movie is you're gonna go to Vegas. Then you're in a car going to Vegas because no one flies to Vegas.
Yeah.
You're always in a car. Then you get to Vegas, obviously at nighttime, because you never arrive in the day. Right. So I was like, I'm going to make my edit that storyline all the way to NAB because it has nothing to do with NAB, but it has everything to do with where NAB is. So yeah, I kind of ripped off the Hangover. Some of the shots.
I love that. Yeah.
Put you and Josh Joe's head on a couple of the bodies, and Jake's Bernal's head was on the driver for like a second.
I didn't
It was
pick
fun.
up
It
on
was
that.
basically the people that were in the video, like the most, ended up in the car. So
Oh,
then
that's
I put
hilarious.
Valentina in the other car because
She's
the
driving
most
in
definitely
another car.
most recognizable person that was there. That was a girl in the car. So
Yeah, I love her hair. Her hair is
yeah,
amazing.
so it was a funny intro, and I noticed that like Josh put out his video the other day, and he kind of did. I don't know if I inspired him to do something similar because he did I phoned his head on top of the
Uh-huh.
Joker and like shooting the
Yeah.
iPhone. That's kind of like, hopefully I inspired
Dude,
that. It'd be fun.
did you meet Josh and make that connection with Josh?
Well, I've been online presence for years now, but like, yeah, it's the first
Cool.
time I've met him in like person. So
Well, you should definitely have him on this show. He would get a kick out of this.
trying, yeah,
Oh, we're trying. Yeah.
yeah,
I'll if I need to help push him into it, I will, because he needs to be on this show. He would
yeah.
love it.
He's in a kind of a funky spot. I think. Like, I think he wants to be. He wants to be on his way out the door on YouTube. I think, and get into
Yeah,
something more serious. But we're
I can
gone back
relate.
in. So
I can relate to that. I think there's still room for him. Like, I mean, obviously, I mean, he's so good at what he does, and I think that just like me, you can get a little burnt out from this whole industry and the brands. And once you start doing the brand deals too, it starts turning into real money, like actual, like, holy crap, that's more money than I've ever seen in my life. And it's like
Right.
you start saying yes to things that you actually don't, like, to your core don't want to do. And as a creative, I can speak for myself, it just starts to creep in and you kind of feel trapped in a way. I mean, of course, it's like, oh, sob story, like you're making money doing camera reviews. It's true, but like as an artist, it sounds so pretentious and so annoying to say that, but like it's true. Like you feel a little like, oh crap, I'm doing, like, ultimately I don't want to be doing this. I just want to be making art. I mean, his channel is literally called Make Art Now,
yeah.
and
Well, his channel's funny too because it's like the first few videos, like, hey, I made this sweet like film in Burning Man,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it's like building a locker and like some Alexa stuff, and like
yeah,
it's not like
Right.
cinematic or anything crazy. And then all of a sudden, Anamorphia just
Yeah.
dropped, and you're like,
yeah.
what is
He's
this?
so
Like,
talented.
is this a Netflix premiere that's like hiding in like? He did a better job of hiding in the gear review on that than like product placements in movies.
Totally.
Like, you forget, you're like, what am I watching here? It was a lens review, it was a Black Magic camera review,
Yeah.
a gimbal review,
So
for that matter,
I
a
met-
one wheel review. Like,
I met Josh at the Sony A6400 event. Sony put on an event in California, and he was there, and I met him. I think he had 50,000 subscribers when I met him. And I saw a couple of those videos, and they were like mind-blowingly amazing. Like you said, the Burning Man stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this guy's got something interesting with the storytelling and with the cinematic and just his personality and the way he comes across camera. And it turns out when I actually interviewed him for the Golden Hour podcast for the first time, I learned he actually had a past in acting. So it's and he also was the first creator that I ever met that word for word scripted out the entire YouTube video. So at least this was a couple years ago when I first interviewed him, he literally said beginning to end, he writes it like a script for a movie. So like he's acting, he's reading a script, even though it feels like he's not. And that was mind blowing to me. I was like, wow, what an amazing amount of work that you're doing. But then also, of course, you've got this Otis thing and all these storylines and all these things. Like it really came through, and he just shot up through the roof. Like his channel just blew up.
Oh, blew up. Yeah.
it still took a minute though. Like everyone saw it.
It did.
And then he still sat there at like that 150, 200, and then like by the time Anamorphia 2 came out, he's at what, 400 something. But
Exactly.
The numbers part doesn't matter. Like what he did to YouTube
true.
in that gear review industry line of like videos.
Yeah.
It's like I watched that the first time. I was just like, where do I go from here? Like,
And I totally,
where
and
does anybody go from here? Like,
I know. Well, it's impossible to compare yourself to other people because he has his own experience. He was an actor. He lives in LA. He worked in the industry and da 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 da. Like, and he's himself. He's himself. You're yourself. You're doing this show, and I told you this, Kyle, at the restaurant. Like, I love this show, this concept. Nobody's doing this. So here you guys are doing something so different, so unique, so fascinating. It's a brilliant model that can expand beyond our small camera gear niche. That's what's authentic to the two of you. So maybe you guys want to stay in this niche, and I think you could have great success in this niche. I would love to see the two of you like on stage at NAB hosting this show live and have multiple YouTubers coming on. You know what I mean? Like, you could literally
Well, definitely we need to have Bert needs to make a trip. Like, Bert came with Vegas, but he dipped out to like some strip clubs and we never saw him the rest of the trip. So
we're trying to get another game show host too, but it's really hard to find him.
Yeah, it is.
We can afford them very well, you know.
We're trying to have another game show host for channels who are maybe smaller, that the Know Your Creator is not as good of a platform.
Sure.
If that makes sense. So we might be doing some kind of Price is Right thing or something. It'll be fun.
That's a great idea. But I feel like this could expand all the way up to like the big, you know, like a David Dobrik or Jeff Wittick kind of Logan Paul even level. Like, this idea is, you could do this same idea. It could scale all the way up to Mr. Beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This concept is brilliant because you're providing so much value to me right now. I'm able to share this on my live stream, get my audience to watch it. It's a fun, goofy laugh time. Anybody who's a super fan of that creator is going to want to watch this. It's like it's like a reunion show almost for YouTube, and you're providing so much value to the creator. So like, imagine, you know, say Eric, you know, you do this for Eric, you go through all of his videos, you find funny moments, you do the whole thing, you have game show elements, like he'll clip it out and you're giving him free content for his, you know, YouTube shorts or whatever. Cause I can take this and turn it into like some of the best moments can turn into content for me. So that's the secret is providing value.
I have to actually like post any of these as a podcast. But that's mainly because I'm trying to figure out how to edit that correctly to make that work, because it's so visual based on this like live stream version. So some of it you're just gonna have to listen to the audio, I think, and just deal with it. But clearly I can't have that 2-minute intro in a podcast. That's gonna have to go. We'll have to say something else. But it's a fun thing, you know, like it's something that we started doing, and I was like, I want to do something different. You know, mainly just because I didn't want to just sit down and ask the same questions that we get asked when we go on shows as well. Not that that's bad. I just wanted to do something that was just different.
Yes,
and
100%.
So that's we decided to go more comedy and more fun and
absolutely
more hangout. And Paul said, you know, like Creator Camp was more of a, when you guys went to camera camp. You didn't go, Dave. I know Connor went, but it was mainly like just a hangout. Like everyone there was there for the same reason. The subs went out the window. No one cared about that. And it was just kind of a hangout, and you know, half the people taught camera stuff, half the people don't.
That was my vision for this for sure.
What's that, Paul?
So that was my vision for this for sure. You know, when I came to Kyle, I had this idea we can do some sort of a stream, and between all the different names we threw out, Kyle and I kind of landed on this one, and then we went off and got the logo made and all that stuff. But you know, we really wanted to keep that do something different where you get to know a creator. Like you're sitting around kind of personal, like around a campfire. But then we also wanted to throw these elements to make it kind of more interesting and not just talking the entire time. And so I like how we keep molding it. And the other thing too is they kind of spun out into having these creators hosted on their channels. Is I didn't want to host. I was like, hey Kyle, we need to do this together, but I don't want to be like the stingy guy and say you have to put all this work into it, and I don't want to post it on your channel. So we were like, let's just see what happens and post it on both of our channels. And then it kind of spawned into let's just go let the creator host it on their channel as well if they want to. Because
Dave, that's something you said to me at NAB too. You said like we have this weird unique thing where it's like we're taking our Creator Camp logo sticker and like, oh, that's a nice YouTube channel you got, and then you know you're just slapping our logo on everyone's channel. So I had this weird thing happen where people kept like Jevin. I've never met Jevin before. And he's like, you look familiar. How do I know you? I was like, oh, I got a channel. I do gear reviews. And he's like, do you do a live stream, Creator Camp? I was like, yeah. So it's just, we have this interesting thing where I didn't even think of it. Like, we're like being advertised as the show on all the different people who are on the show.
That's the genius of it. And that's what I was trying to convey is like, to a creator, a YouTube creator, the hardest part of this job is coming up with content and being consistent. So by doing this show, you're providing free content for me that's not only entertaining entertaining for me to like be a part of it and have a laugh with just the three of us and the people on the live stream, but for the entire audience who are considered the fans of that particular creator, they're going to get a kick out of it because it's all the inside jokes of what we all know in our small community. It's just a brilliant model because from your perspective, you're getting the benefit of not only the creator just posting a tweet or something like that, you're literally getting a video live streamed on their channel, especially if it's a channel with large subscribers. That's like that's a huge deal, and it's a brilliant model. So
well, like Donna
hopefully
said,
people don't steal it.
Donna was like, he's like, I'm getting lazy. I'm supposed to have my video posted, and I haven't gotten around to it. So he's like, this is actually a big help because it's my weekly content for the week.
Yeah.
Posting it, so. But also, speaking of inside jokes.
Milton.
Milton.
Yes, I saw, by the way, I saw...
There's a lot of comments in the...
Brad Fogel mentioned that. Hi, Brad, by the way. I know you're there. So yeah, Kyle, do you want to tell the story of the bird, or do you want me to?
I mean, it's been told, but yeah, let's tell it again. So, night's wrapping up. Everyone's about ready to leave. Some people did.
Yeah, we all went to In-N-Out. I posted a little just Dave Mays meetup at In-N-Out because it's cheap and delicious.
It wasn't as good as California. I will say that.
I agree.
It wasn't there.
It's Vegas. Come on, you know.
But yeah, this bird just like, I guess it was someone was throwing away their trash, and that's when we first noticed it. Bird sitting on top of the trash can, and it's the nastiest, grossest. That thing's been through hell and back. It looks like a stuffed animal, and the stuffing's coming out of it. This thing was just, and when we first saw it, it had its leg pulled up, so it looked like it had one leg too. And I don't know, it was just like, it looked so funny, and we started just, you know, when you start saying like dad jokes or jokes like, and then you just keep going with it, and like the joke stops being funny, but you keep going.
Yeah,
that's what was going on. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, let's start taking pictures of this thing. So like Ian pulled out his A1 or whatever he was using.
Yeah,
or R4. He started
A7
taking photos.
R4.
I started taking some. I did like a camera. What was it? I sent that to my iPhone from my A7S III.
Hi, Chris, by the way.
Right on the spot, and then all of us had that photo within like 5 minutes. It's all over like posting on internet, and
it was such a talk about an inside joke. That is a very deep cut, and like nobody really, honestly, even as we tell this story, I can see Paul falling asleep. Like it's, you know, it's one of those had to be there, you know.
He's probably reading the
that was a Dobo moment right there. It brings me back to my Dobo days on the Dobo stream. Hey Paul, you falling asleep over there? No, I'm
really?
It was just funny because we were all sober. We were all sober, and we're just like goofing off for like 2.5 hours with this bird, taking photos, and
it was amazing.
Coming up with the next year's NAB meetup name is gonna be Milton. And
oh, of course.
Like Jake from Condor said that he's gonna try to find a way to put Milton in as a brand name. Like maybe one of the next, next line of like black cages will be Condor Blue Milton or something like that. Or
oh my gosh, that's
an inside joke. Would be so funny.
Ian was making jokes that they should come up with a model name at Aperture with like Milton as something with it or whatever.
That's brilliant, dude. I can't wait.
If you guys ever see that, that's where it's from.
Next week, next year, not next week. Next year,
next week.
I would love to find a venue, and if we can afford it, maybe we could all pitch in or something. But yeah, like cater it with In-N-Out so that it's not like a. Although it was fun going to the In-N-Out, I mean, we didn't owning it.
Everyone came in at different times, so it worked out. I just think it's funny that one of the kids that we were hanging out with, we left the convention center. We're like, okay, well, we'll meet you there. You know the address? He's like, cool. So we pay for like a $30 Uber out there. And then we're sitting there, and the kid pulls up, and he had his own car because he drove from Utah. And we're like, wait, why didn't we just ride with you? Like,
I guess he didn't know.
Yeah, I was like,
that's hilarious.
Well, I guess we paid him a few bucks to give us a ride home. So,
who are you talking about?
I don't remember his name. He was just there. I forget his name right offhand.
Brent. Yeah, Brenton.
I love the idea of getting together. That's kind of one of the things Kyle and I talked about. Is like we would love for this show or whatever to get big enough to where we could maybe even host our own creator camp or something where we all. I mean,
Yes.
that's why Sony Camera Camp was so special for me, because it was just a way you met together and you had all these other creators like-minded like you. They're all out there doing the same thing. And it was just encouraging to meet some. Like I got to meet Armando. I got to meet Connor, which I shot a banger shot of at Camera
that was
Camp.
you, huh? Oh wow!
It was Sydney was going out there.
I'm screenshotting that and sending that to him. I texted him this link. He's in California right now on a shoot. So he's probably busy, but I just sent him a screenshot of that moment. Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
And it was totally like I'm just Sydney comes up to me. He's like, hey, we're gonna go down to the lake and we're gonna just shoot some photos. I'm like, all right, let's go. And so I'm going out there and and Connor's posing in his like Marble Man, like cowboy setup, and
that's
we're just
amazing.
sitting there on the
that's so
thing,
him too.
And I get back home after camera camp and I'm like, wow, that was actually a really good shot.
It was, and he's quite a model, dude. That really could be a Wrangler ad or whatever.
I know, like this. I was like, this could be like a Marlboro commercial, Marlboro cigarette commercial, any sort of like that outfit I feel like that could have been on a
Totally.
just like clothing ad. Anyway,
the lighting was perfect. Even his performance as a model is on point. He looks great. I love Connor. Connor's back with me. He was working with Armando, and then and he did some stuff for Condor Blue, and around the same time that I moved back, he decided to move back, and he says it has nothing to do with the fact that I came. It was more of just he wanted to get out of LA and move back. His family lives here as well, and some of his closest friends. So, but he ended up working with Zach with Kinotika for about a year. Which Zach is amazing, by the way. He would get a kick out of this as well. I love him so much. He's about 10 minutes away from here, but yeah, Connor's. I gotta
get him on the show sometime too. I think he was a great guy.
Dude, Zach is also like cut from the same cloth of all of us for sure. He does not take himself seriously at all, and is an amazing editor. His editing is so funny.
I called it. You guys can.
I think you worked on a music video that I like, one of Norma Jean's videos.
Me?
No, I think Zach.
Oh, cool. Yeah, probably.
I love
I
when
wouldn't
you all
know.
three got together.
Thanks, man.
When Kinotika, when you guys were kind of near the when you would fly home or whatever and do a video with Zach and Connor and all, it was you guys like.
That's
like
good to hear,
you guys
man. Thank you.
Yeah, when your comedy style for all you guys, it just meshes together really well. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little like a Tim and Eric vibe at times.
Yeah. I mean, we're both heavily inspired by them. Big fans of H3 back when they were doing stuff.
That was really big. That thunder's still going.
I hear it.
There he is.
Indy Mogul set.
Hey,
Connor!
Connor's here.
Pull up that photo for Connor again. There you go. Look at that handsome lad.
Look at that dude. That guy is like one sexy stud right there. Yeah.
Well, speaking
Bring
of
you
creators,
back to
Paul,
camera camp days.
Speaking of creators, I think Bert's texting me here.
Oh,
he said he's either got to come on or he's going to dip out.
I don't. We're paying him good money, so he can't dip out. So, let's
you want to bring him in.
Let's bring him on in, guys.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
From everybody's favorite rec center at the Creator Camp, this is the game that tests your knowledge. This is Know Your Creator! I'm your host, Bert McElroy, and tonight we'll be going head-to-head with our guest on who knows our creator best. Rules of the game are simple. All you have to do is answer 5 questions correctly, and the contestant with the high score at the end wins the game on Know Your Creator! All right, Paul, I've been waiting around for 4 extra minutes here. We should have started this about 10 minutes ago.
Bert, listen, we pay you good enough money. If you really want a little bit of overtime, I might be able to swing it, okay? What kind of food did you say? It's not about the money,
Paul. I'm supposed to get to the bar a while ago. Those margaritas aren't pouring themselves.
Maybe if we ever get lingering on, you and him can, hose down for some good whiskey or something.
If you guys get lingering on here, I'm going to be passed out in a puddle of whiskey on the ground.
Gosh.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
man. Well,
There's no way we're keeping up with that guy.
I lost a light.
So, this is Know Your Creator. Oh, our guest left the house.
yeah, I can't believe he's
There you
still
go.
using that little old vintage monitor down there. I mean, my goodness. I can't believe that thing is still turning on these
yeah.
days.
That's a production monitor. I know what those are.
Oh, wow.
Got
You know what
those
those
back
are,
in the
Bert?
studio.
Yeah,
It's actually just Xbox.
yeah. We know him and his old vintage NES games over there.
Anyways,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry. Dude, Bert, a pleasure to meet you in person, Bert.
Paul, who do we got here, Paul?
The Dave Mays, the real Dave Mays.
Where's this
Dave
guy from?
Altizer. I mean Dave Mays. That's right.
Hey,
That's right.
Which show
who's
is
that?
this guy from?
What?
What show is this guy from?
Oh, Kinotika.
Oh, I remember that one. They got that one good song that that bum 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 bum. Cantina, right?
Yeah, some famous guy's got his arms chopped off and
Did you say
blown
Cantina or
away, yeah.
Kinotika? Tika Watiti? We got Tika Watiti on the show. Paul, you brought Tika. Oh man, this is.
He's not as
hot in here.
no. It's
All right, well, you know the game, Paul. It's 5 questions. You got your ass handed to you last week, so let's see if you can bring it back here.
I gotta redeem myself here.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is great.
So you guys got some paper or like a iPad or phone, something to answer on?
Phone, yeah.
I got my phone.
Just bring up them notepads.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, we don't want to see that. That's
What's that?
no, that's totally inappropriate. All right, we're not gonna show anybody that picture. Okay, Bert.
Yeah, I'm coming. Hold on.
Don't drink too much over there. Okay. All right.
Had too much to drink. I had to take a piss real quick.
What, your porta potty over there or something? Jeez.
I just went in the corner. It's a game set. Someone will clean it up.
Okay.
All right, so you got your fancy things to put the answer on.
I got it.
All right. In the episode of Kinotika Office, Dave had the Canon 1DX Mark II shipped in to prove that it wasn't as good as the Canon 1DC. But what camera actually showed up instead? Let me repeat that. In the episode of the Kinotika Office, Dave had the Canon 1DX Mark II shipped in to prove that it wasn't as good as the Canon 1DC. What camera actually showed up?
All right, show it. You got it ready?
I got it.
All right.
I got face only on, so I don't know if it'll work. There you go. M50.
Yep.
All right, let's run that clip.
Our last review's doing pretty well. And I think it's getting to Dave's head. He wears a suit now, which is weird. Also, he hired a film crew to film this next review. I feel threatened.
Of course you've seen my latest video, the best Canon camera is ... Justin and Brandon had some points, but clearly I was right. Brandon thinks that the 1DX Mark II is the best Canon camera, and to prove him wrong, I had this shipped earlier this morning. The 1DX Mark II.
He ordered the wrong camera.
Oh, am I seeing blurry or am I just drunk? What's going on?
Sorry, he's shooting on a Canon. It's not nearly as nice as this eye autofocusing
Must have been
Sony,
that Canon
bro.
M50, huh?
Yeah, it was. It's the. I don't know. The
Canon 1DC.
It's the
I suppose.
C70. The autofocus is garbage compared to other cameras, but whatever.
You think it would have the Canon autofocus in it? The
Should've used
OEM
that
one has
DV1.
better autofocus than the 7. No,
Look what I have right here.
vintage right there.
There you go.
Yeah, vintage. This camera.
If you guys haven't seen that video, that's a fun one to go back and watch.
Thank you
Maybe
for
we need to
pulling
make
that
a
up.
second
That's so
episode of that one.
Yeah, totally. We'll do it. We'll do it for
Well,
sure.
Bert, we're both 1 for 1 here, so
All right, one for one.
got?
All right, let's get to second question here. Maybe autofocus will work better this time.
I
Maybe
doubt it.
Paul will have you read the answer and he can just show it or say it. I don't know.
Sure.
In Dave's video, Digiboom and Disney with Red Rock Micro NAB 2018, Brian from Red Rock compliments Dave on his sweet breath. What specifically did Dave do to make sure that he had ever so sweet breath? Specifically, what did Dave do to make sure that breath was acceptable?
That's a good question. I don't. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready.
Show them
I got
answers.
it. You gonna answer it? All right.
Oh, you want me to say it out loud?
Yeah, go for it.
Tic Tacs, right? Or suck on a mint. Oh, that's right.
Let's run it.
Here with Brian from Red Rock, and we're here talking about the Digiboom.
Digiboom, digiboom, digiboom. Yes,
Can you
sir.
tell me about it, Brian?
I'd be happy to tell you. But you have very sweet breath. By the way.
Thank you. I made sure to suck on a mint.
Well, usually I just sort of chew on a mint, but if you want to suck on a mint, let's knock yourself out.
Tell me about the Digiboom, Brian.
This is the Digiboom.
Digiboom, digiboom.
The basic idea of Digiboom.
That's a catchy little song you got there.
So that's my dad. My dad's a musician, and we were editing that video, and we showed it to him because that was actually the moment where Connor invented the text with misspellings thing that he's always done with my edits, where like I'll talk and then he'll put like what I'm saying, but then he purposely misspells things in a funny way. That was the first time he ever did that, and I thought it was so funny, so I showed it to my dad, who at the time we were sharing an office space together, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I have an idea." And we went to lunch, we came back, and he was like, "Check your email." And I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
And then he did that just in his office real quick while we went
It's
to
like
lunch.
his voice just like looped over on top of each other and like changed the pitch so it sounds like yeah, that's cool.
I think he sang. I think he did actually harmonize that. You know, I don't think it's just pitched, but
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like the same person doing it. I should say.
yeah.
Your
But,
dad is very. Your dad has the music side. That was another thing that kind of stuck out to me on your stream with Peter. You know, the story. Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
That only you can tell. You know, and the life experiences we live through. You know, you've had a lot through. You know, your upbringing and your family and stuff like that, and your filmmaking background, plus your dad's being like music and a director. Anyway, I'm getting off. Tangent, but
Dude, Paul, this is amazing. Thank you. I can't believe it. It's odd when people know things that it's like, oh, people listen to this stuff. That's crazy, man.
Well, that's
I
what we're
love
here to test.
your dad going as a guest on the Polar Pro podcast. That was a good one. Anyway, sorry, Bert. I'm getting in your way.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, so Paul's winning 2-1.
Yeah, I thought it was Tic Tacs. I usually suck on a Tic Tac, but
Suck
yeah,
on a, I mean, I
mint.
guess it's the same thing. I didn't think it was that weird when you said suck on a mint, but obviously like,
I didn't either.
I did say
isn't that
specifically.
isn't that how you partake in a mint? You suck on it. So
I don't.
No,
I don't
because
chew on
Brian
mint.
said he chews on a mint. He said you could
chew
suck
on
on it,
gum.
I
I
guess,
don't
if you
chew on a
want.
mint.
But that's the purpose of a mint is when you suck, that's what causes the mintiness to partake in the tongue and then the upper, teethal area. I don't know.
We're getting a little off topic here. Bert, you probably could destroy us.
All
that
right,
one.
all right.
Go for it.
Question number 3. In the video, Canon M50 2 years later, still worth it? Question mark. Who saved the day after Connor sold his M50 like an idiot?
Oh man. I mean,
Come on, man. I know you can
Paul
get
seems
this
to
one.
know this answer pretty good here. I must not have stumped Paul at all this week.
who saved the day?
Who saves the day? after Connor sold his M50?
I mean, is it just a person
Yep.
or?
Or a thing or a place? Who knows?
Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna. Are we gonna?
It's your channel. You probably edited it, right?
Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah, he did. Okay. I'm ready.
Go for it. Say, just go
Okay,
ahead and say I already typed it out.
Just Zach Mayfield? Is that just the answer? Yeah, Zach Mayfield.
Yeah,
that
that's my
clip?
clip. We'll see.
Hey Connor,
Yeah.
remember when we made those M50 videos and they did really well on our channel, and so we made a whole bunch of other M50 videos?
Yes.
Want to do that again?
Yes.
Wait, didn't you sell your M50?
Yes.
Hey, I have a Canon M50.
Actually, I'm done.
Come on, Zachy Mafe, let's do it. Hey, thanks.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know the real answer to that one. I just took a great guess and thought like, okay, I'm gonna go with the next Kinotika host. I didn't remember that, but Zachy Mafe. That's pretty funny, right there.
I was actually looking for Zachy Mafe, so both got wrong answer.
Zachy
I'll give you the
Mafe.
answer.
No, yeah, that one was so much fun. That was the week Zach came out to California, and that was the exchange period where we shot a couple videos together in California, and I walked him through the channel and kind of the analytics and all that, and that was so much fun that time. So I love Zach. He's great. Go subscribe to Zach Mayfield.
All right, so I think we're.
Go
Paul,
tell
you
him he needs to be on the
got,
show.
Yeah, totally.
Paul, you got what? Three answers right? Is it 3 to 2?
Yeah,
Three-
3 to 2.
Paul's
Paul's got 3. I got 2. Yeah.
All right, question number 4. According to Dave, what is the secret sauce to any camera?
Oh.
We are referring to Dave Mays, not David Manning. Secret sauce.
Secret sauce. The secret sauce. Could be anything.
Could be one thing too.
Okay. I don't know. To any camera, the secret sauce. I don't know.
All right. You ready? Are you gonna guess?
Sure.
You can just say it out loud. I'll post it up. I already typed mine out, so
Color science? I don't know. That was my guess.
I have no idea. So I'm just guessing color. So we'll see.
Run that clip.
This 10 to 18 millimeter lens, which isn't really the best lens, but I did bring an 85 millimeter prime manual focus lens. So I'm gonna slap that on and see how pretty we can make this look. Lenses are the secret sauce to any camera. Buy a cheap camera like this, invest in some good glass. That's how you get good images.
Man, like that was
That is
before I typed out lenses, but I'm like, no, it can't be that simple, right? It's got to be something like internal, not like So I
That's
doubted
an
myself.
enhanced
I should-
audio added to that clip, by the way.
Well, the enhanced audio is like I wish I could go back and add that because that definitely made that sequence way better. Because it's like I built it up like this lens is so amazing, and my images were just so average. So.
It's kind of like this stream. It's okay, you know.
So we
We're
got
like
true.
really
It's
quality
true.
here,
Lenses are the secret sauce for sure.
Yep.
I
and
agree with
according
that.
to,
That was also
like,
a deep
video
cut.
number 3 on Dave's channel.
That was a deep cut. That's like one of the very first videos I ever made on Kinotika. So.
All right. So question 5. We're Paul's still winning by 1.
I don't
Which
know
is
how.
weird, but he's done it before. So
Yeah, 3 to 2. Let's do it.
In the Billie Eilish parody video Gear Guy, what is it that you don't do that makes you suck?
Don't do that makes you suck.
In the video Gear Guy, what is it that you don't do that makes you suck?
Okay. Locked in and loaded. Yep, edit raw. Yeah.
You suck if you don't edit raw.
Looks like we got a tie game. Oh no, actually, Paul.
He's still up by one. And I must give credit where credit is due. Half of that song was written. I had the chorus in the first verse, and I think the ending segment. And I just had that second verse with that line that wasn't written. And I flew Zach Mayfield out to shoot the video. He actually helped me shoot the music video, and then actually my friend Jake Bernal also helped me finish it out. But he wrote that line because we literally went to Starbucks that morning, and I was like, I gotta finish this. There's one verse left. But he's like, aren't we shooting in like an hour? I'm like, yeah, I gotta finish the song. so we wrote it. That was his line. You suck if you don't edit raw. ProRes H.264. Nah, like nah, dude. I need raw, baby. That was all him. That was all Zach Mayfield on that line.
So Paul won, but you know what, Paul? We're gonna give Dave another chance to win this game. Let's add a 6-question sudden death winner takes all.
Let's do it.
In the episode, iPhone for vlogs, is it good enough? What soda did Dave pick at the soda parlor?
Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna guess. Okay.
They seem very confident. I'm just gonna guess. Okay, I'm done.
There's only one type of soda that I think I would choose. Oh no. Maybe not.
There might be one that you drank, and there might be one that you picked.
What's the question that I picked?
Which soda did you pick at the soda parlor? Not tasted later.
Okay. That would be... Oh.
I think we need one of those Rode podcasters so we can play some music during these things.
Yeah.
Rode. Send us a podcaster. Roadcaster.
Yeah. I hope they
right,
come out with
answers?
a smaller one. Yeah, I'm ready. My first guess was actually cream soda, but then I went for the Harry Potter beer, which I think Paul got the correct answer, butter beer, but it's the Harry Potter.
I wonder if you can film a vlog on an iPhone. So why shoot a vlog on an iPhone? There's a lot of reasons, actually. You've got the ability to shoot 4K on most of these devices, plus you can edit and upload straight to the internet. So what we've decided to do is vlog an entire episode using only We're here at the soda parlor. We're gonna get some delicious soda. This is that Harry Potter stuff. What do they call it? Butterbeer? This is the butter beer. It's like what you can get at Universal Studios, except Olin Rogers is giving it to me today.
The answer was Flying Cauldron, so both of you lose the game. No winners today.
I could not remember what in the world it was, but I just
Me
knew
neither.
it was butter.
Flying Cauldron is
like the butterscotch
my
beer.
when I'm not drinking margaritas. That's my favorite.
Wow, what a embarrassing video that was, in the fact that it was such a Casey Neistat ripoff. Where'd I go?
I think his battery just died. I mean, he must have that.
It
Those
did.
Canon
I
those
didn't
Canon
plug
batteries
it
are
in.
terrible.
I didn't plug my camera in. Hold on.
Yeah,
We'll
you
just
should switch to Sony.
throw this up on the screen.
USB-C powered beast, you know. We should just
The
put that
curse
in
of
for
Bolton has
his
struck
face.
again.
Oh my gosh, I'm not making this camera look appealing at all.
Anybody else in
I
the
mean-
chat know that answer on the last question?
Oh, did anybody else in the chat know the answer
That is
to that
so
last
funny.
question?
Sorry about that. What kind of Canon jokes
What
were
a
you making
failure.
there?
We just threw this up. Milton has struck again.
Also, I must say also, rest in peace, Soda Parlor. I don't know if you saw a couple years ago, there was a big tornado in Nashville that hit the city, and it totally leveled that place. Olin Rogers, the famous YouTuber who also did Final Space, the cartoon series, amazing creator. He actually owned the Soda Parlor. He created it, and it got completely destroyed in the tornado. So it's gone now. So kind of sucks.
Well, you got a guy in the chat that just keeps posting the same thing over and over. What's going on there?
Is it
I don't
spam?
know.
Goats are like
Spam?
mushrooms. If you shoot a duck, I'm afraid of toasters. Okay. I have no idea. I'm going to remove that.
He stopped, I thought, but
That's the title of your next video, right? Anyways, Paul, we looks like you are the winner again, so you're gonna enjoy that nice wooden mahogany fun tub for two. Right, we have a winner. Bob, tell them what they won.
Complete 40 compact car. This cozy tent, including ocean cane wall units. This fun garden patio, including a mahogany fun tub for two. This fabulous gold bracelet watch. And just look at this great 1976 station wagon.
And as always, thanks for watching. We will see you next week on Know Your Creator.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, guys, that was a good game show. You know.
Oh, hey, Kyle.
Right. You guys, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Dude, well done again on the show. This is hysterical. I love it.
One of these days, we're gonna have to post a behind the scenes, Paul, of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Doing this.
yeah.
That's as far as
I'm
gonna
going
say.
in there this weekend. We could probably do it then.
Yeah. Paul's coming up this weekend.
Oh, cool, man.
To Minnesota for a couple days, and first it was gonna be 65, then it was 70, then it was raining. Now it's 90. I don't know what the hell's going on in Minnesota.
I'm gonna be going to Minnesota, and it's gonna be the same weather in Florida. My goodness.
Yeah.
It won't be as humid, maybe.
In August, I'm thinking about. In August, I'm kind of planning on possibly a road trip to somewhere. Tennessee's been on my mind as one of those locations.
Come down. Come to Nashville. We'll shoot a vid.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
August is my
road trip.
birthday. August 14th.
I drove down to like Texas when we had Sydney on the show. I actually drove down there, like the week before that, or like the week of that that stream. We
Yeah.
shot a few videos on that, but yeah, I'm
That's
thinking
awesome.
there's some fun Airbnbs that there's like a Oregon Trail wagon Airbnb, which sounds fun, and
Oh, wow.
and then that whole like not Dolly Parton there, Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge. Yeah, Dolly Parton has a Dollywood. It's like a theme park. It's actually really nice.
There's another guy too in the chat, Jason. You probably met him at NAB. He's from somewhere over in Tennessee, Fort Worth or not Fort Worth, Jackson Hole or something. I don't know.
Okay.
What's that song? He'll probably say it.
I'm in Tennessee. Come on down. Yeah, Jason.
So
Sandiford.
it's funny that you're like so big on the In-N-Out burger, right? Because you guys have something in Nashville that I thought was completely delicious when I went there, called the Pharmacy. I thought the burgers there were phenomenal. I mean, my wife and I went there one day, and then we went back again a second time just because we thought the burgers were so good. So.
Yeah, you're right. We have no shortage of good burgers in town. We have no shortage of good food in general, but those burgers are $15, or whatever.
They are very expensive, right?
So here's Connor and I. So Connor doesn't like In-N-Out, and I remember just a couple of weeks ago, because I was talking about the In-N-Out get together, and I was like, I know you don't like In-N-Out, but I'm doing this thing, and I think it'd be good if you came. And he's like, yeah, I have to come, but I don't like In-N-Out. And I'm like, okay, can we get down to why you don't like In-N-Out? And we were driving from, I think, Franklin to Nashville, which is like a 30-minute drive. And pretty much the entire drive, we were arguing in a very healthy, debating kind of way. And we kind of came down to, he actually prefers Wendy's over In-N-Out. I'll pause for people's response there. But here's
surprised they're still making it. I don't know. I mean, anyway.
His reasoning was, and and Connor, if you're watching this, feel free to chime in the chat. I wish he was here to back himself up, but I'll just relay what I was told. It's the fact that In-N-Out doesn't have any options. It's simply a burger, fries, and a shake. That's kind of all your options. If he's feeling a salad, if he's feeling a chicken sandwich, which I also learned in this argument that he actually prefers a chicken sandwich over a burger. So, but I'm like, okay, that's all great. I understand that. That's not what I'm saying here. Like, let's remove the whole restaurant from it and now speak purely of the singular burger in the fast food chain, like, so now remove anything else and we're only discussing the burger. Tell me a better burger that's $3. I'll wait. Like,
Ryan's Tap. You've never been there.
You
Come up to
cannot.
Minnesota. Paul,
Where?
we can go there if you want.
Oh yeah.
There's
So
a place
you're
called Ryan's Tap.
Okay.
All we do is burger, fries,
Okay.
and like beer or soda.
I
And
it's,
they-
and
they've
it's
won
cheap?
best burger in Minnesota now for like 38 years in a row.
Dude, no way.
And they're
I'm gonna have to
they're
come
almost
try it.
like, they kind of have that saltiness like that White Castle does, but they're like it's like you put it in your mouth and they just dissolve.
It's
just great.
amazing.
And it's like
I might have had it with your wife before we surprised you, but I don't know what.
No, you guys went to JL Beers. That was
Oh,
different.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I don't think the consistency of the In-N-Out burger and the accessibility of it, if you're on the West Coast, is phenomenal. Every exit has one. They're super cheap. My entire family can eat for like $24, and it's incredible. I never feel sick after eating it, unlike other fast food chains. I think there's no debate. It's the highest quality for the dollar in the fast food market. That's the argument.
Okay.
But it's
Also,
best
they
to go
taste
home.
great.
Hey, there's a place in Tennessee, right in the downtown, called Desano Pizza Bakery.
Yep.
Yep, you got to make their way there. I don't know if they're still open, but
Desano Pizza. I'll
it's
take
like-
a.
it's
I've
this
not been there
all,
actually.
like wood fire cooked pizzas, and
Yeah.
they're huge like community tables across the whole place. We went
Oh,
there just
sick.
because we were just in Tennessee, and we were like, this place is down the road. Let's just go there and
Okay.
bomb pizza.
Oh, sick.
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
been to In-N-Out
They're open.
before. I've never been to In-N-Out before, but I think Mr. Camera Junkie, you're wrong. I don't think there are any. I think Five Guys is way too greasy.
The closest
I don't
thing
think
to
In-N-Out
the
is.
closest thing to In-N-Out that I've found is Freddy's. I think it's called.
Yes.
Yep.
We have a Freddy's, and it's extremely close to it. I
Yeah,
agree.
It's a little
It's-
messier, but they're close. They taste the same. They have that same sauce.
In fact, my wife and Connor and I were actually discussing this. Like, is Freddy's actually better? Like, it's still more money, but it might be close, if not slightly better in terms of quality. Actually, I really like Freddy's a lot, and we have one now, so
Yeah.
I'm stoked about
Welcome
that.
to the channel. If you guys are just showing up, we are now talking about food reviews and burgers, and filmmaking is now taking a back seat. We will do some B-roll probably on the Freddy's, right?
Yes.
I did actually just get this sucker. We can do some B-roll of those Freddy's burgers.
Oh, the 85. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul, we're gonna
What-
use this while you're here.
Is that a Sigma?
G-Master.
G-Master.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
I don't know
it's,
I don't know my Sony's. Sony.
It's
See,
the one with
I
the
thought
red.
Sony glass was really expensive until Canon came out with the RF glass.
It's the red. It's the red
That's
dot.
true, dude. Believe me, I'm
Orange,
sort of
red,
begrudgingly. I would have bought an A7S III if I didn't have this job last year where I was working with my cousins. They shoot all Canon, and they like kind of specifically wanted a Canon. And now that I'm freelance and I'm doing my own thing again, I was like, hey, I'd like to purchase this camera from you. And so they basically gave me a good deal on it, and so that's how I have it. So if I didn't have that setup, I probably wouldn't have it. That being said, I do like it. It's a great workhorse camera. I have the Canon C70, but at NAB, everybody had that A7S III with that tiny little Sigma 24-70 or the 16-35. Compared to my camera, it's tiny.
It's a 2-pound lens, man.
Because you're
That's
using
that's
the
a
old
beast.
EF with an adapter. Yeah.
Yeah,
there was a few people that had the A7 IV, but they look the same when you're holding them in your hand. You got the flip out, so
I know, it's
for the most
just
part they are the same.
it's just so reliable and so great. But I do like my built-in NDs. I do love the Canon colors. You know, there's obviously great things about both. But
I honestly just auto white balanced. I did. I think I controlled my ISO, but I just did auto white balance and standard profile for that video because it was just
nice.
constant light changes, and I was like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
This is like I should have just done 8-bit while I was at it too, because there's no reason to 10-bit walking around in a convention center. So
yeah, I love the new standard profile. Sorry, I was just gonna say I love ever since the ZV-1. That was the first noticeable difference. I remember calling Jevin when I got mine and did a review. I was like, did they change the color science? What happened? It looks great now. What happened? And then from the ZV-1 on, with the A7C, the A7S3, the A7 IV, the ZV, even the ZV-E10, in that you turn off the picture profile and you use the is it the creative style standard?
Well, you can go standard and then do like neutral if you really want to add a little bit of like.
Yeah.
It doesn't really add dynamic range to do that, but it adds that look that you're doing, like color grade.
Sure.
I'm using the A7C right now. Actually, this is my live streaming camera, my wife's photography camera, and it's just standard picture profile, just right out.
It looks so good now. But that being said, I am the Olympus fanboy, and I still rock my EM1 Mark III, and I'm gonna sell it and buy the OM1 probably because I am a fan. I noticed Open Filmmaker commented. He said, "Dave, I bought an EM1 too after watching your review. The video autofocus is great. Thank you." And yeah, when that camera came out, when they had that firmware update, I was just blown away that nobody was talking about it because at the time there was no camera with a flip screen with amazing IBIS with good color and good autofocus. And to me, that camera had everything in one. And now, of course, the A7S or the A7 IV is even better, and it also does all those things, and it does them even better.
I'm just glad I bought mine when I had the chance because right after I got mine, they just started becoming harder to get and
they are
more expensive used and
it's
like
crazy.
even some of the ZV-E10s. I've seen some of those go on sale on like Amazon or even on was it B&H had a used one for like $1,000 or $1,200 or something like that.
Oh my gosh!
That's like it's a $700 camera. How are you charging this?
Dude, the A7S III is in stock right now on B&H, and I'm really having a hard time not buying this right now.
The question is,
let's purchase it right now on the air
live.
Let's see Dave turn into a Sony guy.
Your wife will kill us.
Yeah, she
You'll
will
do
kill us.
the parody number 2. I'm a Sony guy.
I'm a Sony guy. It just makes sense. I hate it because the Sony bodies do make logical sense. They do everything, and they do them well, and they're reliable, and they work, and the lenses are amazing. Why have I not done it? I don't know. I think it's just because I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that.
But you guys aren't doing what everybody else is doing with the content. It's not about the camera. It's about what you make with it, right? And you guys look great. Look at the color. I feel like, honestly, the two of your images look better than mine, and I'm shooting on a.
Well, we're shooting in This platform is in 720, so
yeah,
like it degrades. Like I'm actually just shooting 1080 on this camera because it's downgrading to 720 anyways. So, but
I don't know if I should buy one or not. We'll see.
Here, let this guy maybe convince you.
I'm a gear guy. Sub.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a gear guy. Milton.
Do it, Dave.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And that was taken on your A7S, wasn't it?
That was on the A7S with some photo editing.
I know, but it looks so sharp.
The A7S takes good pictures.
Trick with editing A7S3 footage.
I love it.
Start with your sharpening dial a little bit. Hit your option and mask, when you're doing mask. Mask all the way up so it's just the finest possible details. And then just crank your sharpness. That makes it look like it's a higher megapixel camera without anything else. Then you don't have to like screw up your clarity. Like everyone always over clarities that thing. And yeah, it's sharpening the very, very sharpest, finest edges of the mask, like when you mask it. So
nice burn there on the autofocus. Hey, Canon invented this thing, okay? Dual pixel autofocus.
The part that I really like about the Sony is I think one feature that's underrated with the Sony is the S&Q mode. I love shooting in S&Q, especially with the ASO and S3 where the bit rate is a lot higher in the S&Q mode. But I mean, I shot some clips on this ASO and C in S&Q mode, and I think it was like 11 bit, or 11 megabits. I don't know. It was something really small, like file quality, and Kyle mixed it in with his ASO and S3, and you couldn't really tell the difference.
amazing.
But I
Well,
mean,
now, Paul, now I can stop shooting in S&Q all the time. I always shoot in S&Q, Dave, because my 2015 Mac that's over here,
Yeah.
super
you
spec'd out,
can't slow it
works
down,
great
right?
for everything but 422 10-bit, 120.
Okay.
It just chokes and the computer shuts off, fan comes on. So if you're shooting in S&Q, it pre-renders in camera.
yeah,
So then
yeah,
it's just
exactly.
a 24 frames per second clip. But now I got the new iMac M1 MacBook, not iMac, MacBook M1, and I'm gonna be able to shoot any one of those frames. Just shooting in regular 120 now. I'll have audio, Paul.
Nice, Paul.
Yeah, I love shooting with the ASO and S3 with the K3M on top of it, the digital hot shoe. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's so good. So I mean, you have the similar abilities with that C70 with the mini H XLR inputs, but
Yeah. It is
it's
nice having, obviously the built-in ND is phenomenal. I love having that. I would miss that.
I can't wait till companies can start adding that in there. But a little bit baby steps, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
DJI
We'll see.
getting into the camera game. I think there's been some teasing between people like Josh and like Peter Lindgren have been kind of teasing their own hypothetical
Peter's
thing.
been hoping, but he doesn't know anything. At least
I think they already are. They own Hasselblad. People forget that. They bought Hasselblad. So every Hasselblad is a DJI camera, technically. And then the Ronin 4D is an amazing full frame censored
yeah.
camera. So like I know people think of that as a weird gimbal thing, but it's actually a camera on a gimbal. So that is a camera. So they already are making a camera. And my guess is that an Inspire 3 will accept the head of the camera from the 4D. So you could do a handheld shot, pop it off, stick it on an Inspire, and go up, and now you're shooting, whatever that does. Does it do 6K or 8K? I don't remember. Full frame?
I think they have it's a 6K and an 8K version on the 4D
Yeah.
anyways.
Pretty
I don't know
cool
if
stuff.
the 8K version's out though. I know they were talking about releasing it.
Yeah.
But
I don't think.
the thing with that camera that I noticed when Josh's video though is that it's got some pretty bad rolling shutter.
Yeah.
That seems to be because he had it on the car facing towards like while he's moving on a car, and like all the street lamps were just like going sideways.
Huh.
And
That was
so-
kind
but
of
he was-
a bad
he was
idea.
doing like
'Cause
80 probably too. So
I know, but that camera should be used often, will be used in high-speed environments. It's odd that they would do that and not put a
unless
global
he
sensor in
did
it.
some weird artistic thing to make it look warping speed or something, I don't know. It could be he was. Yeah, I mean, you could see he sped up the footage too a little bit, but
So
Okay.
we're getting close to that end of the show, and one of the famous, we have one question that we usually like to ask every single guest on this.
Ah, yes.
A camera.
So Dave, go ahead. I know you've had a long history in shooting video. You've got to have a great story for us. Tell us maybe one time that you had an embarrassing moment while shooting with your cameras.
Well, it wasn't in front of a client. It was more of with a friend of mine who I was working with regularly, but I got started really young. I was like 17 when I started doing video production professionally, and so I was just young and dumb and immature and irresponsible in a lot of ways. And this was the time when we were shooting on the 5D Mark II, and he had the Canon 50 millimeter f1.4 lens. That it wasn't the one with the 1.2 one, but like at the time for us, because we were all super young, that was like real expensive and really precious. And it was an f1.4, which was mind blowing to us at the time because we were coming from camcorders that looked like garbage that shot on tape, So having a full frame sensor in the 5D Mark II, and this was in year 2009, 2010. So this was like really early in the DSLR revolution. And yeah, I just pulled the lens out of the bag and it completely fell onto the ground and completely shattered. And I felt so bad. It was very expensive, like $1,000 lens or whatever to me at the time was so unfathomably expensive because I couldn't afford that. And he just got it and was all excited. And then, so basically, I worked for him for free for like a month or something. But the reason that I remember it is because right after that, not long after, literally like 2 months later, we had another shoot. He got the new lens, and another person was working with us, and she grabbed the bag, and the lens, the new version of it fell out, and it broke again. So it was just like a funny inside joke from then on. It's like, don't let Dave touch anything; he's gonna break it, like. But it was just ironic that again,
you kidding me?
Somebody broke it again. So
I would not let Peter Lindgren touch my camera. I feel like every time he touches a lens, he accidentally drops it on the Mr. Butterfingers.
Yeah.
He just recently got the 51.2, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put it on my RC car," and he's like, "I'm gonna put an ND filter on it just to protect it this time. I learned my lesson last time."
Yeah,
and
seriously,
it flipped and broke the lens again. I mean,
oh my gosh.
I think he saved the lens. I think the ND filter broke, but yeah, he drove the RC car right into the camera, something like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I was just thinking, Paul, I'm like, wait, you might want to wait on that story because I don't know if he posted that video yet, but yeah, I think he did.
He did, yeah. He texted me right when it happened. He's like, "Oh, look at this." I'm like, "Jeez, man!" And then he didn't tell me the whole story until the video. I thought he broke another lens.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean it's fun to push things to its limit, and that's what I loved about Casey Neistat is that he treated his stuff like tools. Like he really treated them like a proper like power drill or something. Like he used it to its fullest potential and didn't care about the preciousness of it. He also wasn't using terribly expensive gear either. He was just shooting on an 80.
He could afford to do that
with a kit lens. Yeah, and he could afford it.
At some point, Canon probably just sent him cameras left and right too.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He broke one time, and then he went into the store to buy a new one, and like helped the guy that was like looking to buy a camera, and he's like, "Well, if you want this one, the screen doesn't really function, but everything else functions about it. You want it?" And he's like, "Oh, good."
Yeah. I remember he always lost his audio jacks, but
yeah, the audio jacks. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that would be really funny. I know a lot of the times when my buddies and I were shooting weddings, it became such a routine for us. I mean, I've shot hundreds of weddings, I think 300 or 400 weddings over the last, decade of my life. And, well, I haven't really been doing it for a couple years, but when I was 17 all the way into, my mid to late 20s, and we would just like talk about the most random things as like this most important moment is happening. Like the first look is happening, and we're like, "So yeah, did you see the new like whatever show? Oh my gosh, wasn't that so funny when da da da? What do you think we're gonna eat tonight? What do you think they're doing tonight?" Like as things are happening, and so we would have to. My boss, the guy who was working with Jeffrey, he was like, "You guys, we need to be probably a little more careful about what we talk about because it's all being recorded, and sometimes they ask for the raw footage." And so,
well, it's hard to like not want to like. Because I mean, like weddings, I think Vu was talking about this too. They're very like repetitious.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in wedding
us,
when they're like, "What do you think song it's going to be? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that?"
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
a lot of the same stuff. And when we asked for a video for our wedding, we were like, we hired this company. We said we wanted like a Wes Anderson kind of style wedding video.
Oh wow.
So they're like, "We think we have a guy," and then they gave us a guy, and I was like, "Well, I know this guy. He shoots music videos for all the bands I'm friends with. Like, could have just asked him to begin with, but he was so stoked to like do something different. He's like, "We're used to the same thing." He goes, "Yeah." He was like, "Wes Anderson, we got it. I know what to do exactly." He's like, "You guys picked the perfect venue too because it's all symmetrical." And
oh, cool, man! I would love to see that.
He gave us two versions. One was all the music we wanted, and the other version was all the music that they could do legally.
Oh,
He gave that to
gotcha.
the company. I don't know if I've ever even watched that one. So
Can you send me a link to it? I'd love to see it.
I'll find it. Yeah, I don't know if it's listed
Public.
anymore.
Yeah.
It got some copyright strikes on YouTube. So
Sure. Well, you have a copy of it, right? I mean, it's your wedding.
yeah, I do
Like,
somewhere.
I don't think I have my wedding video anymore.
I lost it. I don't know where it is. Yeah.
No, it's,
I really like the idea that you're doing. I really want to start doing it. Just make a random channel called like the Feinberg family channel or something, and just post all my videos
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube instead of like letting them sit on a hard drive or something like that. From the stream podcast. I really like that idea. That was a fantastic
yeah.
idea. I need to start doing that.
Yeah, I keep like a family memory card, so like I can even just kind of pop that in and go. And memory cards are cheap, so you could even use that as a physical backup if you really wanted to. And like when you're full, you treat it like a VHS tape and just put it in storage and put the date on it. So that's like a nice physical backup. But what I do is I'll film stuff on my real camera, my actual C70, and I just use the built-in mic. I don't even put a mic on it. And I bake in the color. And but yeah, I just kind of film life. I throw it in a timeline. I make chapter markers on YouTube, just like with the date. And then I just upload usually like a 45-minute to an hour-long video to YouTube. And now I've got the whole video on YouTube, unlisted. I can send it to my family. Right. And then I have it, hopefully if YouTube doesn't go down. But I back that up, obviously, on a drive and on Dropbox as well. So, but it's really convenient, and it's a great way to do it because then you don't have to just have all this footage on your drive. It's actually a place where you can watch the videos, and it's easy because YouTube is obviously the best player on the internet.
Yeah,
so.
I should probably do that. I got like 4 days worth of Florida Disney content right before pandemic started.
Nice. Yeah.
That we got to the point where also Disney closed, and like our video went from getting 3,000 views in that one day to no views.
Oh,
it was like it was like right before spring break, nonetheless, too. So
oh my
I should
goodness.
do that. Just dump all the footage to YouTube and
totally.
Because I got SD cards just sitting in here.
It's a great way to offload
One
stuff.
day I'll make that video.
Well, Dave, I really appreciate you coming on here. Do you have anything closing thoughts you'd like to share with people? Like anything they can expect from your channel? Anything that they could be looking forward to? I know you guys are. We talked briefly about it earlier. You're about to do a complete rebranding on your channel, but anything you really want everybody to know about?
Yeah, thank you. So I just want to say thank you to both of you for having me, and to Bert as well. And this was really just like so much fun. I'm excited to see what you guys do with this, and I'm happy to help in any way I can moving forward. But yeah, I'm excited about the new direction for the channel. I just would love any support I can get. I think the views are going to be low, and the overall kind of engagement will probably be low for a while because this is so new and the algorithm doesn't know what to do with it. And I'm also trying to figure it out. So I know I'm going to probably, like I said earlier, eat some dirt for a while. But I'm very grateful to be working with Soundstripe. I've partnered with them, and they are I'm making videos for their channel and consulting with them. And then obviously the Polar Pro Show. So I'm actually able to make a living with those things. And so I'm able to fully focus on the creative aspect of YouTube and not be concerned with money on YouTube yet. So that's why I've been able to kind of do this shift and not be so concerned on making money. But so I'd love to have any support I can get there. But then also mostly, I just want to say thank you to anybody who's watched any video I've ever done. And specifically to Paul and Kyle for doing this video, and for the fact that you guys recognize some of these old videos and the podcast and just all these things is just crazy to me. And I just try to make stuff that I think I would enjoy if I were a watcher or a listener. And so I'm just happy to know that there's other people like me with similar interests and similar sense of humor. I think that's been my biggest discouragement, if there is any, is just not really finding that thing that really works yet in our niche with the comedy stuff, because it's always been a struggle. And Zach and I have always talked about that. It's like, are we putting way too much effort in a niche that's too small? Like, if we did a reaction channel that was more about just pop culture stuff with the same editing style, with the comedy and entertainment, like, we'd have a much larger audience. But then again, we authentically wouldn't be functioning like properly. So like
Yeah.
we are authentically filmmakers. We authentically love gear. So it's kind of, I don't want to ever force myself to talk about and do things that I'm actually not interested in. So if anybody's watching this that's wanting to get started, I would just encourage you to really like maybe even go away for a weekend or like even just a night and just really reflect on the things that you find passion in and try to figure out a way to do that for your job. It's like a lot of hard work and but I think it's possible for everybody to find something that they're interested in. That's also a very American dream. And sometimes when you're a father or, a spouse and you've got responsibility, you can't always do what you want. And I know that's a maturity thing that I've learned because I've always just strived to do what I want. But at the end of the day, I have chosen to be a father and a husband. And so they come first before anything else. And so that's why I left Indy Mogul. That's why I moved home. And but now that we're in a stable place, I'm excited about moving forward. Hopefully, any inspiration I can give to anybody who's struggling to make a living and doing creative work, just keep going, keep working hard.
Absolutely.
And I think it can work out for anybody. So,
yep.
And I think it's going to work out great for you, man. I think if anybody is on the I mean, I like the idea. I think the reason why the comedy thing you think hasn't worked out well for you because not a lot of people are doing it. And I think, it's like Gerald Undone is known for like the really in-depth reviews of his channel. I think the same thing can be said for you and your comedy routine, right? Once you start putting it out there, I think people are going to like that there's another channel to turn to that's not so uptight and just can respect they can get entertained while learning about their favorite camera gear. So
Well, you even look at like Potato Jet's channel. He's just
absolutely
funny all the time. He's not trying to be like he's not trying to add comedy to it. He's just kind of a goofy, funny guy.
Exactly.
So, like it's the same thing. Like people watch that channel because him, and eventually
100%.
people are going to just re-gravitate to channel because of they're watching that humor, like the Canon video, the this one.
Yeah.
Hey Connor.
Yeah.
Remember,
like that stuff. Yeah. That stuff's hilarious, and it's fun to be able to take a camera view and stick that inside of a different thing. And that's the same thing what Josh is doing. He's just doing it in a dramatic sci-fi world instead of comedy. So
yeah, I've struggled with trying to figure that out. Like I feel like our niche, like because it's either filmmakers who are actively working in the industry or people who are aspiring to be filmmakers, there is a level of kind of quality that needs to be there for people to kind of not only respect it, but kind of just, subscribe and be a part of the whole thing because they are ultimately aspiring to do what you're doing or whatever. So I think that was something that I missed the mark on. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to shoot it on whatever and not really care about the lighting and just get the thing out. And that works in an entertainment niche. But yeah, I know. But like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know. Maybe the story can be that aspect I'm still working on it. So we'll have to follow up later.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting because you're just taking the channel, rebranding it back to Dave Mays. And now it's going to be cool. I hope to still see, some of the other familiar faces at times. I think it'd be,
of course,
fun to do a new Office episode. I think that would be hilarious.
That's a great idea.
That was a very funny episert.
Thank you. Also, it's so funny.
If I would have played the whole thing if I could have, but it was Bert said got to keep it like a minute and a half. So
yeah, no, I understand. Bert was right. You can go see it if you want.
But Paul, next week, Paul, we're taking the week off next week, Paul, because you're visiting me.
Yep.
So we're not gonna have time to prep for the show next week. We got to get our calendar filled up. We got a whole bunch of people saying, "Yeah, let's get on the show, man." I got no one actually reserving the calendar dates yet, so we got some work to do, Paul.
We do, yeah.
We're gonna go pitchfork on a few people,
but yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. We'll probably post some stories this weekend and be in our crazy selves in Minnesota.
I'm taking your butt to the Mall of America, Paul.
Oh yeah,
Mall.
They don't like cameras in there, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
But thank you once again, Dave Mays, and go subscribe to Dave's channel. Links are all down in the description below. Thank you all, those of you who are on Dave's channel, which is probably the majority of you. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We do this stream every night, 9:30 Eastern, and feel free to join us. Like I said, we're off next week, but we should be getting right back to the grind after that. So you all have a great night. Once again, thanks, Dave and Kyle.
Thank
say,
you.
Paul,
See you later.
if anyone's got any suggestions on who they want to see on the show too,
Oh yes,
leave us a comment somewhere else, because if you do it on live, we're not going to see it necessarily, because that goes away, I think. But go Instagram comment or just watch the video when it goes back posted.
Gotta get Josh. Gotta get Josh Yo on.
Hey, I want Josh. Just go force him to sign up on the calendar.
Yeah, and
Totally.
we're also looking to get other people who are not necessarily filmmaking creatives, but like other just YouTuber creatives on here too, just to add a little bit of and it could give them an opportunity as well to geek out on some filmmaking stuff they never typically get to talk about. But
Great idea. Well, thanks again, guys, for having me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all. We'll see you all next time. Same place, same here. See y'all later.